Well, I checked back in with Batman after the failsafe story that was more failure than, well, safety. It doesn't really work, but yeah, a failure, in my opinion. Had some interesting moments and showed some promise, but there's a lot of aspects of it. I mean, the whole RM Zur, whatever, I can't even remember. Grant Morrison brought that in, and because he just wants to meld everything from the different eras of Batman into one. Anyway, whatever. And then Chip Zdarsky decided to revisit it, and at that point, it's you just have to conclude that Bruce Wayne is a severely brain damaged man and should be retired. But he's Batman, so what do? You get another Batman. That's not going to sit well. So anyway, Failsafe killed him. He was disintegrated by Failsafe's phaser. But no, we saw him in some alleyway. What happened? Does he have amnesia and he's wandering around and doesn't know who he is, but there's his face and he's wearing most of his bat suit and a crappy jacket? Or was he in another universe? Yeah, one more time. Who are we kidding? The first, the next of many, not the first, obviously. But anyway, there he is. He's laying in the alley, and these people see him, and they're robbing him, stealing his utility belt, which I think was empty anyway, or maybe not, because they found some dope. And at least they didn't strip him completely. He's almost naked. But anyway, that's the deal. Since he's aware of multiverse stuff, he realizes, I'm in an alternate Earth. I've got to figure out how to get back. It's some dystopian society. There's a tyrannical rule, and there's a bunch of police officers juiced up on venom to make them super strong. And this is Harvey Dent in this world, or Judge Dent, as he calls himself, obsessed with justice, and goes around either killing people, beating them and locking them up in Arkham, or just whatever. And well, Bruce Wayne's not going to stand for that. And apparently the Bruce Wayne of this world is dead, apparently. And so they think he's an imposter or whatever. And there you go. So, of course, the art is good. The art's good. There's some action and all that, and that's nice. But, just too far afield, really. A Justice League story, but in Batman's own title, I don't know. There was a time I would have been more forgiving of it, but good God, how many other Earths do they go to? I mean, you just can't settle on anything, Meanwhile, there's apparently this ghost of Commissioner Gordon, I guess, that only he can see and hear. But he meets a mysterious helper. I guess she, and it is a girl, will be the Robin of this world that doesn't have a Batman, but soon will. And her name's Julia, but she goes by Jewel. Yeah. So anyway, she saves him, of course, and provides him with intel and makeshift weapons and all kinds of stuff. Oh, man, she's just the best. But she later on suggests that he's probably hallucinating the ghost of Gordon, or whatever this is supposed to be. Another version of Dead Man, but it's Jim Gordon instead of, Boston Brand. Yeah, whatever. But, that's part of the mystery, So that's the deal. He gets set up there, and he's got to figure out a way to get back and all that stuff. So then we have to go into the next issue. So it's an alternate universe, and there's a Harvey Dent. Surely there's a Selena Kyle. And yeah, there is. And there she is. Look at her. She's all sexy and stuff. And Bruce is all distracted, Meanwhile, the main villain, I wonder who it could be, called the Red Mask, who seems to really be in charge of everything. He certainly runs Arkham and has a control over Harvey Dent meets Bane, because he can immediately shut off the venom somehow by remote control, and so he shrivels up into a weak, pathetic guy. But anyway, Bruce is like, oh man, I need to figure out a way out of here. He gets to know Jewel more, says she reminds him of Jason and all that stuff. And my guess is by the time he's through, they'll set up a Batman for their world, and he'll go back to his, and she'll be the Robin to this Batman, something like that. But anyway, there's this tower where all the elites just hang out because they don't want to be a part of the riffraff. And they control pharmaceuticals for everybody. Gee, that's not too far from... So anyway, he's got to find a way back. So she figures, hey, you need to go to Athena, the tower there. But only the rich get to go there. And he says, well, I'm good at pretending to be rich. So apparently that's all he needs to do. There's the weapon she puts together for him. He puts on a mustache. Apparently she had one of those laying around. Or he just cut off some of his hair and glued it on his upper lip. Something. And he goes there. He runs into Selina Kyle. She recognizes him as Bruce Wayne, and they're saying, hey, Bruce Wayne's back. We thought he was dead and all this stuff. And they don't know he's from another universe, at least not yet. And, it all goes bad. He's looking for this guy who he thinks can help him. Turns out he's the Joker. He just hasn't turned into the Joker in this universe. So Bruce Wayne's like, oh, crap. And ends up in a fight with Catwoman and one of her gal pals. And Catwoman is something of an enforcer. Yes, she beats down a big muscle-bound dude. With any kind of cool gadgets or weapons? No, just her foot. But, And I mean, we have Bruce Wayne here jump out of a skyscraper and crash into another building. And survives. But then again, as he points out, he survived a fall from the moon. So, point taken, I guess. But he kind of ends up where he started, knocked out on the ground on his back. And but he realizes he's got to become the Batman of this world because he sees the the fascist cops beating up people and stuff with his ghostly pal, not really advising him or anything. So there it is. Is it enough to recommend? No, it isn't. It's one of these wacky, crazy things that would be needing some amount of charm, and it's trying with the silly ghost guy. And what does it all mean? And is the red mask Jason, or is it Bruce Wayne and all that? Well, if you're really intrigued, you can find out. But yeah, I don't know. Not much of a improvement so far, and that's sad. Of course, part of the problem with reading the ongoing Batman series with Chip Zdarsky is I read it after reading this, which is so much better. So Deadly Duo, Batman and the Joker, forced to work together against this villain, whom was pretty much revealed. In the previous issue, we get a history of what happened, and the father of the bride, his daughter, and would-be son-in-law, there is his son-in-law being murdered by, you guessed it, the Joker. And there's Harley in her old outfit. It's brief, but it's nice to see, And their old team is goofy, and it works, but it's very brief. We're not allowed to have that anymore. So anyway, this is this heist he was doing. He's going to rob the wedding guests because they're all rich and stuff. And there you go. It's a massacre. And the father of the bride, who is our real villain of the story, you see his motive and wanting revenge, So the Joker shot his eye out, all that stuff. The idiot SWAT team bursts in when they shouldn't have. Batman shows up. Just really cool artwork and scenes here to try to put a stop to it. And so you're seeing the origins of this dude who works on the Joker disease, the Joker zombie disease that all this is coming together, and why he took Harley and Jim Gordon hostage and all that. And he puts these two through the ringer because mostly, of course, this is all the Joker's fault. But he holds the police responsible because of their bungling, but also Batman as well. So there you go. So now he's apparently he saw the Speed movie. So he's got this train with people on that could die. And so it's up to Batman and his new sidekick, the Joker, to save them. So there we go. It's all great artwork. Don't care for Silvestri's version of the Batplane, though, but that's a small thing. The rest is just so damn good. Although I think Batman needs his shorts, you know. It really does. Yeah. But anyway, there they go. They've got to come up with the plan. They go a certain way. It'll blow up. It's pretty much he watched the Speed movie. Meanwhile, Nightwing and Catwoman are doing a little background work for Batman, and they pretty much going to figure out who's behind all of this as far as the Joker zombie virus thing, so on and so forth. And there's some silly banter between the two, but again, artwork really seals the deal. But the story's fun too. Of course, having Joker as a partner in trying to rescue people, well, you can guess that doesn't exactly work out. Batman's very upset and starts to beat the crap out of him. But for the most part, they saved, the rest of the people on the train. Most of them anyway, without spoiling too much. And so there you go. This guy keeps putting them through the ringer. Of course, it's not really going to do much for the Joker. And even with Harley Quinn, how much would the Joker worry about Harley's safety? He's just in it for the fun, and he gets to hang out with Batman, and that's all he ever wants to do anyway. So, you bastard. Yeah. So anyway, this if you're going to read a Batman comic, this is the one, and it's too bad about the regular story. I'm not totally against multiverse stories, but God, there've been a glut of them, and I think it should have gone into more of a mystery and streetwise thing, or one of the old villains coming back and he just having an adventure. After Failsafe, I don't think it went anywhere, and now he's in another universe. I don't know. Here, it's just very basic. He's got to put up with the Joker, and there's some other guy taunting him and putting him through the ringer, and it all works. Plus, the art is fantastic. Meanwhile, over at Superman, another reboot, now that the real Superman is back, and his son is off in a miniseries. No one cares. So, the cover kind of tells you the new cast. Not new, really. It's mostly the same guys. Perry White, having suffered a stroke because of the Joker's little weird Joker, kinda, because here, just reading Deadly Duo, this is another thing where Superman and Lex Luthor are thrown together. Original, huh? But he fixed it to where anybody remembers that Superman is Clark Kent, they have a stroke. Except for the Justice League and a few others they get to remember. And, of course, Lois gets to remember and all that. But that's the deal. Meanwhile, Lex has got this plot that he wants to be Superman's partner because a bigger threat is looming. Already done this where Lex Luthor literally joined the Justice League and all that stuff. So they're going to do another version of that. Yeah. But it's not a clever thing like Deadly Duo where it's this one-shot series deal of this forced plot that it's going to come to an end, and this one will too, but it's, it's just, they've already done it. And, Anyway, there are some positive aspects here. You know, he's being Superman. He saves people and all that. And there's a lot of some good moments in it. But the main thing of Lex Luthor manipulating him, and Superman can hear him, and he keeps talking to him as he's, you know, battling Livewire and stuff like that. And he keeps, you need to take my advice and my help. But of course, Lex is constantly telling him how to kill these villains to deal with. Meanwhile, with Perry still recovering, Lois has to take over, and she becomes the girl boss and has to kick everybody into shape, and shows that she's going to be tougher than Perry ever was and all that. But they do have it where she doesn't really like doing this, and because she just wants to be a reporter, you know, that's what she does. So I guess that's kind of an interesting take, instead of constantly showing that she's better than everybody else and that sort of thing. So they didn't really do that, you know. And there's like a flirtatious moment between her and Clark that's kind of funny and stuff. So meanwhile, this continues on with Luthor intent on being Superman's partner. And so they put the Superman logo on top of Lex Tower, or LexCorp Tower, and they renamed the company Supercorp, and Mercy's handling everything while Luthor's in prison. Of course, Supercorp from the Supergirl show, who wanted Lena Luthor and Kara Danvers to become a lesbian couple, and they called them Supercorp. Yeah. It didn't happen, but, you know, oddly, surprisingly enough, you know, CW and all, but, well, whatever. But now they're going to use the term for the company, and the company is totally at Superman's disposal, which looks like he's going to need it because, oh no, the parasite attacks with multiple parasites, draining Superman's power. And then Luthor explains that these are actually his enemies that are wanting revenge against him, and that's kind of more of the reason why he wants Superman to do as he's told. So finally, there's this little extra bit that says continued in the Dawn of DC, which, yeah, I does it mean like Dawn of DC as the overall push this year for DC Comics, or is there actually going to be a Dawn of DC series or something? I hadn't heard that. But anyway, what does this look like? I think this is Brainiac sitting there, and what's the looming doom that Luthor's concerned about? Yeah, Brainiac. That fits the bill. So it's all right. I appreciate it a little more than the Batman comic, but yeah. I'll give the next issue a shot, and we'll see where it goes. But they, like I said, a while back, they had a pretty good run on Superman with Dan Jurgens, and then, boy, Bendis really dropped an atom bomb on that whole thing, and it's probably going to take a while to recover, but I don't know that it has the time. So anyway, there we go. The new take on Superman. Finally, we're going to end on the best damn superhero comic produced currently from one of the big two. World's Finest. Not the strongest of the run, but it's not so weak that it ruins the run. And actually, this explains some things that had been going on through the series. And I don't know how much longer Wade's run is on this. Usually the 12 is as good as you can expect, so maybe the next one won't be him. I don't know. And Dan Mora doesn't do the art for this, but the art's good. But it would have been nicer if Dan had done the full 12, you know. This is his art on the cover, but, you know. And something about it, about the streamlined nature of his art, just seems to be more fitting for this return to basics type approach to these characters. But anyway. So earlier on through the story, it was revealed that Robin and Supergirl don't like each other. Well, why? What happened? Well, they went on a date. So it's basically a comedy issue. And but it's fine. It's pretty good. And so there, right off the bat, oh boy, they don't look happy. And yeah. So they're going to go on a date. And there's this is the I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry. Well, it probably says. Oh, yeah, Lupacino. There we go. Okay. But it's good, It's just, not Dan Mara. But anyway, there's the Batcave, and Robin's going to go on a date with Supergirl. And well, look, he's already designing his Nightwing thing, and I'm thinking of calling myself Dark Eagle or something. So anyway, that's the deal, and he's whether seeking it or not, he gets tips and advice from Batman. Meanwhile, Supergirl is remembering a battle that they were in, and she was impressed with how Robin saved himself when he was going to splat on the ground. And she was like, wow, that's impressive. So she asked him out. So she's a little infatuated with Robin the Boy Wonder. And I guess Superman's taking an interest in the story. Go on. So basically that's the deal. They're both telling the story of their date that didn't go so great. So there's all kind of silly shenanigans of them showing up in costume. She didn't want to. He did. He didn't understand that she didn't, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of misunderstandings and whatnot. And just adding to the problems of why it just doesn't work out for them. There's a guy who lost his monkey. And so it causes all kinds of shenanigans. A truck full of bowling balls. Its load comes out all over the street. And so they have to go and help people. Now, here, Robin is tasked with collecting the bowling balls. And Supergirl frees a guy the monkey caused him to wreck his truck, and she gets him out of it. Okay, but really, at super speed, she should have been the one to deal with the bowling balls, I mean, okay, it's kind of cool that he's able to catch one with his feet and then another with a hand, but at the same time, it's not going to work out so well. So anyway, the monkey shows up right in, and Robin gets a face full of monkey crotch, and the guy gets his monkey back, and he's like, yay, my monkey. But then as a result of this, Robin bumps into Supergirl, and they fall into this fountain. And he says, well, there was a monkey. And so wasn't really his fault, but it ruined the date. And Supergirl decided she's not into Robin anymore. And Robin's complaining about it all, but Batman just tells him, take the loss, move on. Okay. Just tell you have a sister. Yeah. So next, wanted for murder, Metamorpho. Well, next issue will be Metamorpho, and we'll see how that goes. But 12 issues. This was a very solid, great run, and bizarre in the current era, And so hopefully it can continue that way. But, it's very dangerous to get your hopes up. And again, the current era. But there we go. So, World's Finest, of course, and Deadly Duo for the win out of these titles that I shared with you. Yeah. All right. Talk to you again next time.